cats is when the temperatures go down, because that translates to more action or to more movement or to them becoming playful, and especially these young cubs here. Excuse me. And these two are not getting tired of wrestling each other, and by so doing strengthening their muscles. It's very typical for cubs. As they mature, at one point they know they'll be living on their own, or not necessarily. If they are, of course, males, they may have to move. Is that one biting the other one ear or the paw? There's some things pulling. There are some kind of branch. Must be a very playful one. I think it got a very good feeling when to bite something in the mouth. And I'm sure you can tell now we have gone to IR. Ideally, the whole idea is that we do not invade the animal space. We do not influence or affect their behavior by like shining any spotlights on them. Yeah, it's something I just wish you have some juice. It's like, when I was a small boy, how I used to chew some sugar cane, and I could put a big sugar cane in my mouth, and my mom was like, "That's too big for you, get it out." So this one, I don't think it's getting any juice or any sap from that stick, just enjoying playing with it. But you should be careful it doesn't get hurt, because it might jump and then it might end up on the gum, Having its best of the wild, While the adults are not concerned. Yes, Luke and everyone in the FC are trying to imagine David the sugarcane as a boy, and I could not let go, and I could have a sugarcane that was taller than me, and my mom was like, "Don't waste it. If you can't finish it, have a small piece, But these ones have a different understanding of a sugarcane, but they've got a dry stick that got no sap or juice in it. How playful are they? Isn't that fun, You wouldn't even think there's any condition of, mange in this particular pride of lions here. I mean, it doesn't seem to be affecting them in any way. Apart from, the condition that it gets on their skins, I do not think, internally mange is quite a concern until they get, very dehydrated. When they get hit so badly by it, they'll get very dehydrated and then emaciated, and then maybe they die. But normally you'll see the skin condition not looking very good. But these ones look like they're pulling through, and internally I do not think the mange would affect any internal organ. What would happen is, I would guess for the cubs like this, because of that condition, they don't eat very well, and because of, being malnourished, they would easily be abandoned, or they may lack food, and that way they may die. I'm sure one of the causes of lion cubs' death is abandonment, or, starving. I think starving should be number one, and then being abandoned by their mother is number two. So if they would get very weak because of mange, mothers would move on and just forget them. And you have seen once or twice, a dead cub in the middle of nowhere. And if you look at it carefully, you notice it was suffering from mange. I've been wondering if, the coalition of males around here are the Birminghams and their Vocas. Has anybody been able to see them with that condition? Because definitely, I would guess, unless otherwise, they are the fathers of these cubs. And it's, coming in contact, direct contact with an infected, animal, that you pick up the mites and you get an infection. I wonder whether these cubs were sired by their Vocas or the Birminghams, and anybody have seen their Birminghams or their Vocas with any sign of mange. Because you don't need, a lot of contact, slight contact. As I said, the mites could be just wandering off on the skin of the infected one and easily get into another that's not infected. And they've been crisscrossing areas, and their territories have been overlapping also with the Nukuhumas, and Nukuhumas have not had mange, and I would imagine they have laid in the same areas. Because there's some animals, for example, the foxes. If a fox is infected and it's laying on a barrow and then it moves and another fox comes in and it lays in the same barrow, it easily picks the mites and it also gets mange, it gets infected. I'm trying to imagine these lions, or this particular pride with the Nkuhumas. At one point, they have crisscrossed, either shared some water pan or some bedding in the areas they lay. They tend to use particular areas for some reasons, as cats would do. How the Nkuhumas have come out of it could be a big, nice debate. Oh, very good. I just confirmed from Luke, the Birminghams have mange. And yes, that's a good, very good way. Thank you very much, Luke, for letting me know that. Because, yeah, contact is one of the easiest, or is one of the best way to infect mange from one animal to another. So any contact of a kind is one way. And as I said, foxes, if you lay somewhere down and a fox have a barrow and you move on, another fox come in there, chances are the one that was there, if it had an infection of mange, the new one that comes in will definitely pick either the eggs and most of the larva or the nymph of the mite and get infected. Thank you for letting me know that, Luke. So the big ones are just waking up and looking around. The cubs are not playing as before. They'll stop, look, sometimes just listen. Ruby, how are you? That's a very good question. Will the cubs be hidden or will they go with their adults for the hunt? I would say it will depend, Ruby, on what they'll be going for. If it's something big and dangerous, the cubs will be hidden and told to stay put. But say if a small animal and not very far from where these lions are, they might tag along. But if it involves a bit of chase, the cubs always stay hidden somewhere until the mothers get the kill. Sometimes on an open area, the cubs will stay in an area or in a vantage point, for example, a termite mound on top of a log, where they can see the parents hunting and maybe learn a few skills here and there. These particular ones are really allo-grooming. Not sure they're trying to get the mites out. I'm not sure that's allo-grooming or trying to bite. And from my lions, let's find out what Steve got with his spotted cat.